It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I haven't been to sleep yet. I bought neon lights that are shining in my face. So excuse the bird and maybe the mic quality might be off. I'm sorry. Hi guys, it's Luna. Welcome back. In my spree of content to get over my sadness and to feel better about life, I'm going to be talking about something that was actually really controversial and I never really understood why. And I kind of tried to understand it from one perspective, but now I'm like, no, I don't get it, and I actually feel a totally different way about it. That is the whole Amber debate from the show Invincible. If you don't know what this is, some people on Twitter, crazies if you will, think that people hate Amber because she's black or because she's a woman or because blah 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 blah. You have people on the other side, I would also say other crazies on Twitter, that hate Amber because she knew about the boy's powers, didn't say anything, realized that he was struggling and all that, and they think that she's a shitty character as a person, And then there are some other people that think some other shit, but at this point, most people either just don't like her character or they really like her character, or they are like shitting other people for not liking her character. Here's my take on it. I like her character. I don't find anything wrong with her character. And this is the biggest criticism that I've heard. Maybe I just haven't watched enough videos on. Well, I really haven't watched that many videos on it, but I haven't read that many tweets on it. The biggest criticism is that she knew about the boy's powers and didn't say anything, and she was still rude and blah 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 blah. And here's why I like her character. Let me say it like this: I respect who she is. First of all, no matter how great of a person she seems or how cool or down to earth she wants to be, she's a teenager. And I'll give her this. She realized something most adults don't. You have a choice. Maybe the boy wasn't as mature as her. That's not her fault. That's a him problem. But she realized if it doesn't matter if I know all this information, you knew all this information. You knew you were a superhero. You knew that when you got together with me. You knew you had powers when you got together with me. You knew that something was going on during this entire relationship. You knew that you may not show up. You knew stuff may not happen, and you chose not to break up with me. That's not my fault, because if I was the bitch who broke up with you because I knew and wouldn't tell you that I knew to not stress you out and did all this work to make you feel comfortable, I'd still end up being the bitch. And that's the thing that irritates me. Her character is decent. Hell, now thinking back at it after recording all that, it's a lose-lose situation for her anyways, because if she pretends like she didn't know, which she did, you have a boyfriend who's unattentive, doesn't listen, breaks promises, and you can't even really see like that, so it's a problem. If she had came out and was like, I knew, and was understanding of the situation, he still would be unattentive, not listening boyfriend, but at least he would have a reasoning. But even then, that doesn't change the fact that you're flaking on your girlfriend. Just because you're a superhero doesn't mean that you can just flake on your girlfriend. This isn't his job yet. Most of the things that he's doing or he's going, it's not a requirement of him. He's actually really not a superhero like that yet. And he can deny that at any time. It's not actually really being forced on him like he thinks. It's more of an expectation because you're a kid. It's like saying like a kid has to go to college and be a doctor because their parents said they would. No, we can do something else. It's obviously a pressure thing, that's understandable. That doesn't mean that his girlfriend has to be ignored. The girlfriend should not be the wife. The people I think want the girlfriend to be just like the wife, like when you constantly have to be making up for something, it's a problem. Either don't set the date in the first place if you're not entirely sure. Be candid with that person, which he can't do in this, he can't do kind of in the situation. Or you could have just waited, and I'll explain more of that in the video, as you're listening. I just wanted to put this part out there because there are a lot of ways where either of them could have made the situation work. And again, people are putting it all on her because she knew, quote unquote, about the situation. That means that all of a sudden it's her responsibility. Like, he can't break up with her. I don't get it. Anyways, let me continue with my rest of my argument. You'll get what I'm saying later. Also, I am just going to put out there also, like, if she had to study and some shit, she would just be like, no, I can't do this because I have this thing going on. He made commitments and then actively was just like, but you should be understanding of it because, you know, I'm giving you this, that, and the third. If you know that your dad can call on you whenever, that your dad wants to do random shit and you can't say no to your father, then just be like, I don't know about this weekend, I'm sorry, I can't hang out with you. And if it's so dependent on your father, if you're so dependent on your father and listening to him and you think it's that important, that's your responsibility to then break up with her, so you're just not clinging your girlfriend along. Like, again, I don't see how people think this is her fault entirely. She has some responsibility in this, you know, relationship's a two-way street, but that boy should have broken up with her, point blank period. He didn't have time for her, and he tried to juggle them both, and it's like, and then also didn't even think about putting her in danger. Again, the rest isn't like the other argument, but it's so much ridiculousness, in my opinion. It doesn't matter if she knew the entire time, doesn't matter if she knew it down to every detail. If she would have told him and called him out for it and pestered him about it, then she would have been a bitch. If she broke up with him because of it, she would have been a bitch. If she didn't do it, either way, she was going to end up being the bad guy. So the choice really should have been on him. You knew all this beforehand, and you were keeping the secret from her. If you didn't think you could handle your powers and your girlfriend, break up with your girlfriend, Amber is not going anywhere. If it's literally just like, there's some stuff happening at home, I don't want to put you in the middle of it, I can't handle it right now, we can try this again next time. And you know, most people's excuse of that is like, well, he wouldn't want to do that, he likes her. So that same shit can't be applied to Amber. It's stupid if Amber has that thought, right? I don't want to hurt him. I don't want Awesome to know that I know, because that'll put more pressure on him to now make sure not to worry me, because you also have to realize that he's putting his life in danger. That means now she'll be like, oh, hey, because that's a relationship, it's called, you know, communication. In communication, in a relationship, she's gonna be like, okay, so you're going on this dangerous mission, are you gonna die? And what happens when he lies to her about that type of stuff? Of when he's going on a mission somewhere or something like that, and she starts actually worrying her. Is he gonna then lie about that? Is it her fault that at that point for not accepting his lies? Like, just take her feelings into consideration for a second. What if your boyfriend came home to you and was like, hey sweetheart, I just watched an old lady die in my arms. I just have blood all over me from yesterday, and I found some on my hands, and I can still smell and feel and see their fear, and I just want to talk to you about that, and I want you to still be with me and be there, and I want to unload on you. I want to talk to you about it. I want you to know that I might die, and a few people died actually on my last mission, and there's a lot of blood and guts and gore, and they could come back and kill me and everybody else, and yeah, how was your day? But she's the bad guy for maybe feeling conflicted about that, maybe not wanting to tell him, not wanting to bring that up, or just like, yeah, she, you know, because what she should have done was just talk it out with him and then just had that happen. And if she broke up with him, oh, well, you're not giving him a chance, you're not this, that, and the third. He didn't think about her feelings. He didn't even think about what if he did tell her that stuff and all the anxiety that would give him. He's thinking, no, I'm hiding things from her. I'm keeping secrets from her. That's the biggest thing in this situation. Didn't think, you know, I've had some traumatizing things happen to me that I chose. Like, I'm choosing to do all this stuff. I wonder what would happen if my girlfriend finds out that I am literally facing death and have almost died and been almost killed several times. And because Omni-Man is my dad, I also have a target on my back, and you'll probably have the same target on your back if anybody ever finds out. Like, no one thinks, maybe this girl has other feelings. Nope. The girl is supposed to be a slave to the main character, because of course she is. Now, again, that's not saying that she's not responsible in this relationship as well. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just making an observation that they are children. This is a relationship, and people are ragging on this girl and her character when really they're both at fault. It's some bullshit, but again, that's just me popping in to tell that little bit there. I don't get why they're all putting all this like pressure on her, because she knows. He does too. Where's the pressure on him? It's stressing him out, and he still has to make decisions like that. It can't just all be her because she doesn't have the pressure on her. Like, that's not how it works. Relationships are a two-way street, so if she told him, what was she supposed to do then? Bend to his will to make him feel as comfortable as possible? That's not how a relationship works. You have to make both people feel comfortable. Like, just because my job may be slightly less harder than yours doesn't mean that we don't worry about the same bills at the end of the day. We both have to worry about the light and the electric in the water. You're not gonna stop worrying about it because my job might be quote unquote easier than yours. No, it doesn't work that way. We got together, we're both in this together, it's our bills. It's their problem in a relationship. It'd be his problem or her problem or no problem if they weren't. And when it got harder and harder, he continued to lie. And that's why I don't understand these arguments against her being a terrible character. I would have done the exact same shit. Well, maybe not that way. At that point, I would have just broke up with you. But she likes him too. So she stays with him. But again, if he stays with her knowing that he could be putting her in danger, that's fine. If she stays with him, keeping the lie up and just expecting him to either tell her the truth or not make promises he knows he might break, that's on him. Like, I don't get that. That's a double standard. It just is. How the girl literally giving him almost every option possible, how the girl is the bad guy, it's infuriating, I promise you. She's literally like, here's the option. You want to tell me? You can tell me. If you don't want to tell me, it is whatever. You want to flake on me? You're going to flake on me? Okay, well, do you want to break up with me? Do you not want to break up with... She's giving him all the answers, basically being like, hey, whatever you want to pick, a decision, you can do. I'm not even trying, because people are just like, she's bossy, and I'm like, how? Because she's asking for shit bluntly? Because she's somewhat aggressive? That's her being bossy? Her literally not give, because what she could have done, and why I think she should have done, was like, you're lying to me. I know you're lying to me. I don't even care what it's about at this point, whether I know or not. I'm breaking up with you. But if she did that, then she'd be a bitch. Now she's like, okay, I'm not going to do that. Keep lying to me. I know you're lying to me. Keep lying to me. If you want to tell me the truth, go ahead and do that. If you want to keep lying to me and flaking on me, it is what it is. I'm only giving you a certain amount of chances, because I'm not going to sit here and be your mom and be dumb. I'm not going to do it. She's still the bad guy. What was she supposed to do? Like, what are the answers? Like, at the end of the day, she did both. So people actively putting all of the pressure and responsibility on her as if he didn't get into this relationship knowing stuff that she only had hunches of and had to figure out to even be able to make decisions is honestly ridiculous. I think it's stupid. I don't like her as a character entirely. I think she's kind of pretentious and comes off irritating, but this argument that somehow she's like a bad person or something like that, I don't get it. And maybe there's something I'm not getting. Maybe I just haven't watched the show in a while and that's why I'm not getting it. I would love to hear counter arguments to this, but in my opinion, if you're calling her shitty for those actions, you need to be calling him shitty for those same actions, and they need to be the equal amounts of shitty. You can't say that she's more shitty because reason. No, they're equally as shitty at that point. They're both dumb. But then again, they're both teenage characters with barely any life experience, and all she does is go to the soup kitchen. You know, kids think that you go to the soup kitchen and, you know, donate to shit, and now you're the most intelligent, mature person of life. All she understands is responsibilities more than he does. That's all that is. It really doesn't give her much of an edge. She's still a dumb teenager. If you want me to be honest, I feel like the pink-haired character was way more annoying. Pinky over there was a fucking idiot the entire time. Ooh, she's even worse than Amber in my opinion. Oh, let me go in the forest and fucking save the wildlife, and that's what I'm gonna do because I'm smart and I understand how this works. Bitch, you weren't doing anything. Like, the good she, I guess, thought she was doing really wasn't much. It wasn't doing anything for her mental health. How is the girl who stayed with the guy who was shade to her the entire time and let her parents talk down to her supposed to be the one to save the fucking earth and supposed to be like a Green Ivy in this shit? Like, you know I'm fucking talking about Harley Quinn's side chick. It seems like Poison Ivy. She's supposed to be some form of Poison Ivy type kid. She was a dumb bitch. Hell, if she wanted to help the world and make that type of thing, it would have made more sense to find someone with powers or grab a group of people with powers and try to build them up to get the reach out further and have people who have the ideal or have, like, not just do it all yourself, because it doesn't matter how much you do. There's like 400 people who are doing worse that are just causing more damage damage. Like, you're not going to be able to save the world that way. The fact that the writers with their whole trust tried to make it like a justification of her going on her phone and somehow saving the world, or trying to, with that shit, and she didn't fail day one is crazy to me. It makes no entire sense. She's smart enough to figure all this stuff out, but not smart enough to realize that like you're not really making the impact you think you are. You're barely doing anything. It'd be better in the long run for you to train up people in that way if you want to do that or do something different. You're really like, what you're doing will be undone quickly. She's smart enough to look up what can, but then again, I'm saying all this, but again, I'm remembering that they all are in high school, but also people are just like, yeah, no, she's doing such a good job. I love her character. She's so great. And it's like, no, she's kind of a dumb bitch child like the rest of them. And honestly, her whole thing was annoying because she took the whole pacifist route because they wanted to make her look like, oh, I'm a soft girl, ooh, ooh, but I'm only strong when it counts, but I'm a bitch the rest of the time. It's like, why? Like, why? Like, what was the point of any of that? You want to save the world, but you can't save yourself. I don't understand how that works. Like, you can go on your phone and find things to do around the thing, but you can't find books to really educate yourself on how to really make an impact. And bullshit if you say she did not. Hell, you could ask people on message boards how to do better impact. She could have did a whole thing that way. She really didn't. She did petty shit here or there. It's literally like somebody helping. It's some friendly neighborhood Spider-Man shit, but she's in the trees. Like, it really wasn't what I think the impact was supposed to be. But, you know, it came off that way, and that's the only thing that matters, as long as the masses eat it up as, you know, she did the best she could. But maybe that's just me being picky. I don't know why they did that whole arc with, like, that whole, even just every time I saw her on screen, it annoyed me. I know this is gonna sound stupid, but if you watch the show, you know what I'm talking about. Your man had a threesome with one girl. Like, stop. God, she annoyed me. There's other reasons, more deeper reasons why she annoyed me. Those are just like surface ones. I can understand that, but that whole character like bothered the shit out of me. I like the devil guy, little horn demon. I like the demon, detective demon. Wish he came back. They're stupid. Anyways, I should start my day. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
We could have been stardust, same world but without us. Something